Hey, it's Nate with Big Haw Homestead, and this video I wanted to do for the 1-year anniversary of Helene when it hit. A lot has changed here. A lot of stuff has definitely been fixed and repaired. We have lines on our road. The dirt is gone, the gravel's gone. Now we have paved roads. One of the other big things, like you can see the rock pile up over here. A lot of the rock that had been washed down covered the roads. It's really changed the whole face of the mountain. It's starting to get green and growing over, and in time you won't even notice anything's happened probably in a lot of spots. Time will definitely erase a lot of things. It won't erase the pain that caused a lot of people through the storm. So this is just sharing some of the photos, some of the short videos. They're not in the best definition because I don't have originals. It's what I pulled off of YouTube before, not YouTube, off Facebook before starting a channel on YouTube. So while I apologize for some of the grainier videos, I think it does give a good story, a good tale of our experience and what we saw, the destruction that we saw, how it affected our town. This all takes place in Avery County, North Carolina. One of those small towns that was hit hard and took a lot of damage and needed a lot of help. Same with a lot of other counties around the area. So with that, I hope you appreciate the footage that I'm sharing, and it definitely hit home pretty hard on the stuff that people had to go through with this. So with that, this is my 1-year Helene anniversary special, and we'll leave it at that.
Little stream is not flowing where it's supposed to. Look at that. Holy crap. This is normally a little creek or a little spring that runs calmly right here, but that's running behind the house now. A little bit more water. And the little creek is still running, or a little spring. Crazy! You know, the power of water. People always talk about the power of water. This used to run straight through here. And look at the amount of rocks that this has deposited right here. These rocks were not here. I mean, this is tons and tons and tons of rocks that have come off this mountain. And then I got this tree down. But not just that, but this is all dug down. I mean, this is normally maybe a foot wide, maybe 2 foot widest. I mean, this is nuts. There are trees down just everywhere. And if this keeps it up, I'm going to lose this bridge because it's already undercutting it. You were a good bridge. It just definitely overwhelming to see it. And these trees here are just getting all their roots exposed, so who knows how many more of these trees are just going to collapse over too. We're probably going to lose some more trees over on this side. Absolutely insane. There's another tree over here down. I'm gonna have to buy an actual real chainsaw now. So this is cow camp right now. This is one of the springs that usually flows not very heavy. Came down here and deposited a lot of rock. Here's the creek. And the culverts probably filled all up with the rock. Nowhere to go. And now it's flowing right here. And it looks like it really ripped it up over here. Crazy. The small spring by Fletcher Chapel. We're going to go up the mountain soon here to see what's going on, but all this rock has been pulling pushing down here onto that road. Now, at one point earlier, you saw the video, it was flowing down through here, and there's no rocks over here. Like, this is just grass. And oh, look, an old 7-Up bottle. But you can see these big chunks of quartz, big old rocks it was just tossing out here. I mean, look at the size of this thing against my foot. Absolutely insane. Recording earlier and the water was up. You can see now it's kind of going back into its regular channel. It's calming down a lot. Something that's crazy too is there's a couple springs on this side of the property that normally flow really light. But look at that thing. It's pouring down here. Crazy. So, concerns me now, these trees that are all getting their roots washed. And it's definitely changed some how this flowed big time, really opened it up. So this is really carved out. You see some big rocks down here, never exposed. And then these trees slid down, so we got some leaners there. That tree right out there is splitting, so it's gonna buckle and break at some point. But it's crazy. Up into the woods we go. This was a pretty calm drop here, but we think we got about a 10-foot waterfall there now. And another waterfall right there. We're gonna get better footage when we get closer to it, but it just gouged our spring. This is insane. That rerouted itself over here now. It has a completely new flow. The pool that was there, gone. This is a whole new flow. That big A tree fell on my water tank. So I gotta get there at some point and find out, is that busted? Look at the trees leaning though. Leaners, snapped off. All right, we're gonna go up more. So this here was a mild fall. You've probably seen some previous videos, but from where I'm at, it drops about 50 feet pretty quick. And I can't really get too close because we don't know how stable this is yet. But there's a huge fall there. And that is our road to the upper part of the property. It is gone. We have no way of getting to a majority of our property at this time. That kind of sucks. But that kind of ends everything now. But look at the waterfalls we got. We got like upgrades. I'm really concerned of what might be up higher. But man, this is nuts. Part here, you can see how far it's cut down, but we have new falls. There's a new fall up there. Let's see if I can get in on it. This carved down at least 5 feet in most spots. This used to have a bunch of trash on it, and it just wiped it clean. But there's the old road, and if I come around here, Xander found it because we used to have these old fence posts that were our corner marker for the property. There's one right there, hanging on for its dear life with barbed wire. And then right through here is where it carved out. So this was our road to actually get over here. So I'm gonna have to get some equipment. I said earlier that my road's gone. I have no way of getting there. But I have a feeling we'll probably have to just dig it down over there and then realign this side over here. But you know, this is where the cabin was. There's tons of videos showing it. But I'm in absolute shock. I mean, the damage this water did. But I'm the owner of some freaking awesome waterfalls. This is a sad one here. That was one of the big red oaks that we had. and it didn't make the storm. I mean, that thing is gigantic. It looks like our other one survived. But we're going to continue on here. We're trying to play Frogger with the rivers here. All right. This was our road up to the other side of the mountain, but now it seems to be a very much spring doing its thing now. Oh, so much freaking work. Here we are. There's that poor red oak. A couple nice old maples that were property markers are still around. But look at this thing, how deep it goes. All the way down there now. Absolutely crazy.
Landslides.
Road that we used to get up there. We have some work to repair, but it's a whole new freaking place. This is insane. We had it up there where it starts. Not going up there today. It's getting a little sketchier. But now it used to run under rocks and stuff and hide, but it's found its new home. And it looks like we had a big mudslide over there. We're gonna see if we can get a little closer, but we don't want to take too many risks. Firewood, but I didn't know if I wanted a landslide to get to my firewood. I guess it works, right? Running a little lower today. You can see it. Carved it all out. It's just nuts. The water used to flow over here, and now it's diverted over there. So that big tree that's fallen over there might be resting on my poly tank for our water. So far we have water still, but I'm gonna have to figure out, get that oak out of there. This is the tree I was talking about yesterday. She split. I wouldn't get near that thing for anything. That is a Widowmaker times 10. This is a landslide kind of behind the house. House is there. That happened, but there is a road up there for the apple tree community that we kind of wrap around their property. But I'm not going to waste energy hiking up in there because I know it's just a bunch of mud. But it definitely, again, another change to the property. Some big old trees fell. It's going to take a lot of work. See what trees I want to keep, what I don't care about. Some beautiful quartz though has been exposed. Beautiful chunks of quartz. Gouge here too. This is Cow Creek, which runs on the road over here. But a cool thing that was uncovered is over here. Spring boxes that would have been below the road grade, that at some point someone was using this as a water source and getting water from here. You can see one right there. So I thought that was kind of cool. to see. But the culvert's all stacked up with debris over here. Again, just flowing under the roads here. Still pumping water out. Break without a real generator. We have 2 wires in the house, one to the freezer, one that goes to the fridge or the internet. We have our solar producing. We have the truck producing about 94 of the watts. So hopefully when the sun comes out, that'll kick it up and we'll start getting a lot of charge in here. But the Jackery's keeping the food cold, so just we had to get a little creative here to have basically turn the truck into a generator. And while we're at 18% here, we'll probably run the truck a good 8 to 10 hours today. See if we can get this thing up to a full battery. But hey, do what you gotta do. This is the river walk. These are just trashed. The mobile homes moved. Bridge used to be over here to pass. This building here was just flooded out. And that, where the trailer that is there used to sit right there. All the roads are busted out. Church, so they put a brick facade on top of an old wooden building, which I found interesting. They just bought this house a few months ago. shed with wood in it and some equipment right here. And then up here, there used to be a house on the water. And that house there's not even a foundation anymore. That's their power pole. But it's completely gone. And here we had a landslide. You can see how big it is. And then these poor guys down here, that's their trailer, which used to be right next to the creek. Definitely took some damage. Hopefully everybody was okay. For scale, there's a 5'11" kid, and it's pretty big. Project hardwired into the house, and I don't have a ton of things cooked up, but I got 6 things. I got the 3 bedrooms, the great rooms power outlets, washing machine, which also is the same outlet for the Starlink, and the microwave. I know, I took a whole circuit for the microwave, but I can't plug the microwave in very easily. I might swap that out later, but for now it's the microwave. Yeah, I've no longer have to have cords running all over the place. Down where the old road crossing was up there, and we used to be able to cross in a lot of spots, but it's got a little sketchy. Probably gonna take a while before we can cross again. But look at that, I mean, these drops are crazy. Another beautiful waterfall though. There's a landslide over there. Slide. No more water running down. Pretty much drying up now, and we can walk on it. And that's where the flow is coming down. So that's good. A lot of deer prints. Deer. So this is one of the landslides that happened, and the water was gushing off the mountain, but it's no longer flowing. It's dried up. That was the path that it had taken, so we can walk on it now.
That's the tree that we were standing by in the pit.
I say when we took the first videos, we were right there, and then you see just the destruction around here now. But it's dry. At least we can get up here. Another slide that happened. You can see it came down here. So much water. Just all the grass, everything's leaned over, pouring off the mountain. But it's pretty crazy. Oh, it's still hard to hike. Well, it looks like our road is about done. He's got to finish it up and
pave it, but hopefully we'll have a road soon. Sweet. There he is.
I know one of the videos we shared where all that was rock that was over there, and this was all rock over here, which is pretty crazy. Another one of the videos I believe shows when I was pointing over here to a spring just flowing crazy, where this was all the way up to here on the road, flowing across, and the broken trees that are still over there. And again, you know, that was all filled with rock and everything, and all cleaned up. Lots of trees down and such, but all in all, it's all in a lot better shape. Nate with Big Haw Homestead again. Again, hope you appreciate the video we shared. And again, this just shares part of what we experience. It doesn't give you the true idea of what it's like to have days in which you're stuck on your road, you can't get out to town, you've lost your only grocery store, you know, where are you gonna get your food? Now we are a little bit more prepared with canning and some of the other supplies that we keep on hand, and it definitely taught us a lot that while you think you're sometimes prepared for everything, some things can sneak up on you that you didn't realize could ever actually happen, and Helene was definitely one of those. I didn't have a generator, even though I do live in a more rural area. I should have had one. We did have the Jackery, which kept our food good for the first part of that till we get a generator, in which we drove about 2.5 hours out of here through mostly back roads, seeing again all the devastation, destruction, the lines that are down. There's still a lot of work in the area. There's still a lot of people that are affected, and a lot of people that didn't have a lot of money, don't have the ability to bounce back, that are somewhat forgotten in some of this, where their homes have washed away, but due to new regulations that they can't rebuild in their floodplain, that they can't put another house there. Yes, FEMA has come in, FEMA has done some stuff, they have helped out. The military was here, we had helicopters, dozens and dozens of helicopters flying overhead, and I did share a video of one of the Chinooks, and that's something that you get to experience and see, that more rural areas, that's all they had. That's all they had. There was a spot, and I believe we show them loading the supplies into the helicopter, where they're going, because the 3 bridges to get to this area, all 3 bridges were lost, and the only way in there was through helicopters. So they would bring propane, Starlink, food, other supplies, everything to keep those communities going. And people stepped up, they helped each other, and it was a beautiful experience in that aspect. A lot of nature was changed, but you know, at the end of the day, no matter how hard we get hit, no matter how we get down, it's really about how you get back up. And while some of us can get back up on our own, again, if you can donate to certain groups, Samaritan's Purse was huge in the area, other organizations that have been still in the area and helping people, please give still. There's still a very big need for that help. And with that said, I hope you all have a good one. Take care of everyone.